All
So,
right.
are
So
we
who
gonna
is
jump
our?
into the next games, or are we gonna take a break now? That was
I'm
that
good
was
to
a
keep
fast
going.
series, so I can keep going straight away.
All right. Looks like we will keep going, guys. Zealous Zam wants us to wait. Yes, this is me, Zealous, and you don't have Lieutenant Sharp in this channel, so you can't hurt me. All right. So we've got Snorlax versus Green Tea.
And this is another ZVP. First map's gonna be Overgrowth. We're loading into the game now. It's a silver level player versus a gold level player once again.
Partouf, do not give Zealous Sam mod. God, I'm gonna get banned from the channel. I know it.
Okay,
All
so
right, take us away, Ben.
so in the top right player, we have in the top right, should I say, we have the pink Zerg player, Queen Green Tea.
With her little flower. And in the bottom left, we have our Void Ray champion. We have Snorlax. And so here we have pretty standard builds. We're at
No
9
proxy gate this time.
and no extractor trick from Queen. She's playing it straight. I'm guessing Void Rays.
Once again, we shall see.
So we're gonna see here. Which the way he got those out as fast as he did does prove that Snorlax really does have an attentiveness to his build. He keeps track of what he's doing. I think he throws in a couple more builds. He just learns a little bit about his own macro, and I think he's going to be out of silver pretty quick.
Yeah,
Because we saw some strong
make workers basically. That's how you get out of silver. Make
that's true.
workers.
And then use control groups, learn the macro, and you're in platinum.
Exactly.
And I don't know how to get into diamond yet, but once I figure it out, I will tell all of you.
Win games.
See, it's so easy. We're
Just win games.
we're all ready to be pro. Oh my gosh, proxy hatch coming down right here for Queen.
Alright, so man, there's been a lot of proxy hatch in this tournament. I've done it in this tournament, and we've seen it happen last game. There was a proxy hatch from Monkey, and now there's a proxy hatch from Queen Green Tea. So a lot of
So
people.
why this position here? I mean, if you're gonna take the proxy hatch, why not just line it up on the third and have a potential short-term mining base?
I'm not sure, but
Okay.
either way, this position, just even if it was on the third, I don't understand why. You may as well just, you can take it down here, where I pinged on the map at the third/fourth. It'll never be scouted. It's more likely to be scouted here. And you could also just take it at the opponent's gold. It's, to put it here makes no sense, but we'll see what she makes of it.
Or, once again, you could channel Scarlet against Parting at Red Bull DC and just put it right in your opponent's main.
Yep, exactly. And get that Roach Burrow.
Get the Roach Burrow. That's exactly right. Oh, and here goes a Stargate. So Void Rays are coming.
Yep.
Queen did allow the hatch to finish in that odd position.
Yeah, we're gonna see Roach, I think.
Well, the Warren is down, so that makes sense. It's just, I don't know why there.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Maybe she wants the queens for the push, but it'll be interesting to
Yep,
see what she does.
you could be right.
That's the only reason I can see the hatch being here is for the queens.
And so, as we were talking about how to climb the ladders, Bobble just told us exactly how to get to GM. You switch to Protoss.
That's also true, as proven in one of my games where I switched to Protoss.
So inject goes down on this proxy hatch. No real natural, so only one mining base still for Queen. No
Yep.
drones coming out there. But once again, Monkey's doing this one base void. I would call it an all in, but at these low levels, I actually think he could recover from it.
I don't think it's classed as an all-in at this. Yeah, at higher levels, you've lost the game already. But
Yeah,
this is just lower league play for fun. So we'll see. We can just see how the games play out. Basically, it's interesting to see this sort of play.
it is. And I don't think the voids Snorlax is going to have ready will be able to deliver the DPS needed to
Yeah,
counter these roaches.
the one. And there's first blood, so he knows now that the roaches are coming into his base.
Yep.
Did Queen research Burrow? I don't think she did she? So she's not going to go with that Burrow play anyway.
No.
So she's going to move up the ramp. The cannons and the void rays are just going to deal with this pretty easily. The time warp goes down.
I would not have done that. I would have done photon overcharge, but
I wouldn't have even wasted the energy there because it could have been cleaned up without losing anything regardless.
yeah, that's true. I'm terrified of losing workers, so I probably would have overreacted and dropped the photon overcharge. But good cleanup here by Snorlax. No real damage done. What was that? 2 workers lost.
So yeah, I think it was
One.
one or two workers lost. Just one. Okay. So we have Queen building spore crawlers here for some reason.
All right.
So I think it's just
Overreaction
gonna.
to that void ray again.
I think it's just gonna be a Queen Roach spore crawler push, and she's gonna start to spread creep up to the base of Snorlax.
Yep, I think that's exactly what's going to happen, and I think she will take this game with that.
He still doesn't know that the proxy hatch is here. No, he doesn't. So he really has no idea that this is coming.
And Queen is mining off of that mispositioned base now.
Yeah, she's got these void rays in her main base, but she could just transfer all the drones to the other side of the map now and rebuild. She's got so many idle drones and so much lava in the main. I really don't know what she's doing here.
I don't either, but kill drone Snorlax. He loves that pool so much. He just wants to go for a swim.
Yeah, it's that mistake again.
Well, part of that, if he had more, might not have been a horrible build just because queens are a good counter to voids.
Yeah, but I think...
Kill him.
Yeah, I think what Queen needs to do now is just... She needs to pull these workers to her proxy hatch, basically, and she can just rebuild. Because this base is gone. There's no way she's holding it. I think that's what she's going to do.
But the overlords are coming. Oh, she gets him away. Did he see him? Yeah. No, he didn't.
She re-rallies them away. So yeah, she's just gonna push in here with the Roach Queen.
So much larva though.
Yeah, I mean, indeed. And he's gonna find out about this this proxy hatch now when he comes down to take the expansion. Cancels the pylon, and now he knows what's up. So how he's gonna deal with this will.
And he's killing broodlings with void rays. Yeah, he needs to hightail it out of there, get home, because
he really does. He's just gonna fly around and look for something else, but
I mean, he's got better econ than Queen. About to supply blocker.
He's dropping a lot of cannons. I think he's safe with all of these cannons. He needs to drop a few more pylons to support them because Artosis is real, but
yes.
I think he's safe. There's no way that Queen can break this.
Yeah, a time warp on that ramp in view of all those pylons will be very effective. I don't know why he's baiting with the Stalker. Keep your Stalker back, utilize the DPS from it, but...
Yep, so I think what we're going to see here is just Queen move up the ramp and just die to this.
So she only knows about 4 cannons at this point, doesn't know about the other 4 behind. Did just use a transfuse there. I would not have done that. I would have waited till I moved in. But and then 2 voids just chilling in the back of the map there for Snorlax. which could really be utilized here or harassing this other base. So Queen now puts down a hatchery in the correct position to speed up her mining time,
Yeah,
and now has a fancy macro hatch.
yeah, that's the right choice, but there's still like I really don't think of like that she can breach this, but the longer that Snorlax waits, sorry, it's gonna
Hurt
be
him.
worse for him. Yeah, basically, yeah, he's
Yep.
invested in all of these cannons when there's really no need. 4 cannons would have done it, but he made more to be extra safe. So what he needs to do now, he just needs to like he's got so much chrono boost, he could be chrono boosting. He hasn't researched warp gate, I don't think. No, he hasn't researched warp gate, so he could have 4 gateways down now. He could have warp gate complete. He could have his void rays, and he could have like a stalker force, and he's getting
Yep.
that upgrade shields again. So
I'm not
I'm not feeling
entirely.
I'm not feeling what he's doing right now, basically.
No, but hey, if you ever complain that overgrowth was too small, here we have our players making it smaller for you.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty interesting. She's got the Overlord there to give her high ground vision for when that attack comes. But Snorlax, this game is yours, and she's taking her natural at his natural. Spore crawlers climbing around to give good defense against these voids. I think he's finally beginning to believe that she has nothing else on the map after a long scout.
Yeah, and I think this is just a waiting game now to whoever makes the first move loses the game, basically.
And
That's
Bobble's quoting on chat, Queenie needs to mass queens, and he's exactly right.
yeah.
That is how you kill voids. They just fall like a rock. It's beautiful.
So this game's going to come down to which player wants to make the move, and whichever player makes the move at this point in the game is going to be the player that loses the game.
That's pretty
So
much exactly right.
so
And the spawning pool target again.
he really loves his spawn
It
impulse.
does.
Didn't know Void Race could swim, but there you go.
All right, so pull those back, Snorlax. No, that queen has so much energy. Run. I love upsets, so I'm inadvertently biased right now towards our Silver League player. You'll have to forgive me, but that's why I threw all those games against gold players earlier. You guys saw that, right? All
Right,
right,
so
so
it's
hydrogen.
yeah, it's still a waiting game. Whoever makes the move first. Right now he has that many like Void Rays. I really think he can just take this game, and she might. Yeah. Oh wow, she just GG's here. So, yeah.
She didn't GG when I had her beat. She beat me. I think Queenie could have held on, won that game. And I also think with 3 hatches down, they all should have been making queens nonstop.
Yeah. Okay, so I believe the next map is King Sejong Station.
All right, so
No, I'm not too sure on that actually.
Snorlax just commented saying,
Oh no, it's Ohana is the next map. Sorry.
"Oh no, good." Snorlax did just comment saying if there isn't a pool, I don't have to worry about queen. So he was aware, and that's why it was main focus, which is good. But when there's units that are able to do damage, or when there are so many drones in your grasp, you're going to do a lot more by denying the drones to cut off the minerals than you are by cutting off the tech.
Yep.
Now, if she had a 5,000 bank, you have a very good point. Taking out that spawning pool is going to be more of a hindrance. But you took out her main, and you saw that she was kind of long distantly mining. As Partouf points out with just precision and wisdom, drones are very important to Zerg. Very important.
Okay, so we're loading up into the next map now. It's gonna be on Ohana.
So if Snorlax follows his pattern against Monkey, we will see Proxy.
Yep, we can expect some sort of proxy now. Yeah, I still think he's going to be going into that Stargate place somehow.
He does like the voids, man. And they're winning games for him. They really are. So we saw both games he played with heavy voids. He took. So, like I said, Snorlax, I think you're really good at knowing your build and warping out. You just need a couple new ones and then expand.
Yep. Anyway, so in the top left of Ohana, we have the pink Zerg player, and that's QNgreenTEA.
And in the bottom right, we have our Void Champion. We have Snorlax going under the handle of Gorgatron.
Okay, so both players are just opening up standard so far. There's been no early pull. The gateway's coming down for Gorgatron. Everything's standard at the minute.
And we're at 14 drones now here for Queen, so we can expect something soon. Whether it's going to be that hatch, I'm guessing a pool because a hatch or a drone isn't pre-pulled.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's gonna be Hatch, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be Hatch first from Queen.
Okay,
So
yep.
we're gonna see a Hatch first from Queen, and Queen went for the gas block here, and he pulled all his drones to deal with this, and he's already like he got the drone, but for every second that a drone isn't mining, you lose 1 mineral for every second. That's the math behind it. So he's pulled all of them probes for around 8 seconds to deal with the thing. So if you want to do the math on all the probes and how many minerals he's losing there.
Well, he had 10 probes at the time, so that's 80 minerals he took out.
Yeah. So 50 to 80 minerals or so, you can say that he's lost there.
Part 2, if you gave Zealous Zam Lieutenant Sharp back. I told you not to do that. And so I don't really have an indicator here of what our Protoss player is doing.
Okay,
He's
so
bringing a probe out.
he's getting warp gate now. He's gonna go for the later scout, which isn't really too bad. So you can scout a bit later. There's not really any threat of not being able to see what your opponent's up to. If they are going for some sort of ling push, then you'll see it when you're moving across the map with your scout. But he's proxying a pylon in a funny location, and it's gonna get seen instantly.
Yeah, I think this Overlord, there it is. Yep.
So I think this is going to be some sort of maybe 3 gate pressure into expand, or just a straight up 4 gate from the Protoss player.
Yeah, nothing too. I do like this. I haven't seen this by Snorlax yet. It's a little more conservative than he's been going in the past.
Yeah, it's looking more and more like some sort of gateway pressure from Snorlax at this point. The pylon is about to die in the natural, so
yeah, that's unfortunate.
This should give Queen a good read on what's coming her way, just by seeing the pylon out on the map like that. Both players are yet to get a full scout off, so neither player knows what's up yet. And there is a second gateway coming down. It is rather late for a 4 gate, so I'm not quite sure what we're going to see here from the Protoss player.
Queenie's doing a good job starting to saturate that base. Once again, Snorlax, no natural. It's 6 minutes. It's catastrophic without some heavy pressure.
Especially. Queen's on 24 drones to 18 probes. I think Snorlax needs to move out on the map now with his units. He's got a forge on the way now, and his second gateway is completed. So if you're going to be aggressive, you want 3 to 4 gateways. You can't really just make two gateways and be aggressive with it. If you're gonna do two gateway aggression, it's pre-warp gate aggression, like you're chronoing out your stalkers, and you'd
Yep.
like move across the map with three stalkers, a zealot, and a mothership core, and try and do some damage. But this isn't the case.
Absolutely, and it's really, I think, gonna hurt Snorlax if he tries to apply that pressure that he doesn't have a forward pylon to reinforce right now.
Yeah, and he's already putting himself even further behind by building these two cannons at the front.
Yeah, I don't feel that's needed, but if he followed this up with a Nexus and stayed conservative, it might not be a horrible idea, but we'll see what he does. No, he's still spending his minerals on upgrades.
So Queen's taking her third base now. It's a bit later than what you'd normally want to take it versus Protoss, but she does. Does she know that there is no expansion? Yeah, she knows there's no expansion, so I can understand why she waited to take a third. But I think she realizes right now that she's able to take it.
When you look at her view, there's no cannons there, so that means it was over a minute ago. So she would have reasonable expectation. Gorgatron has 500 minerals in his bank before he warped those two units in. She has a reasonable expectation to assume.
Yeah, that the X one's going to be coming down just later than expected. Yeah. She should really be sacking an Overlord to see what's going on there.
Or just throw some lings through the cannons. I mean, yeah. six lings could run through.
Yeah.
3 cannons easily.
So we have +1 finishing up now.
Yep.
We have Overlord Speed finishing up. And a macro hatch is coming down at the top of the ramp. It's a funny place. If she ever wanted to build Ultralisks, they wouldn't be able to leave the base.
Queen does like her macro hatches.
Yep. So creep spread it's okay for the level of play we're looking at. She's droning up that third base hopefully soon. There's a couple of drones that are in production now anyway. She's miles ahead in workers, and
almost double.
And we're seeing that thing again where people are dropping tech and they're not using it, so it's just wasted money. And we've seen that a lot in the previous games we've casted. Like here for Snorlax, he's dropped his Twilight Council. He hasn't got either blink or charge, and he's researching +1 armor. So he's...
Oh, and he's even already queued +2 attack if you look at his forge. So that's just more money that... I mean, I guess it doesn't earn interest in your bank, and he has such a large bank, but it's...
Yeah.
You want to be spending it.
Yep, exactly. So the Overlord just got a good scout of everything in the base. I think Queen understands now that she's in a good position. Yep. I don't know, like she's on free base. She's saturated her third now. She's got a macro hatch. Her injects are pretty decent this game, and just in general, just really good macro this game. Decent creep spread. Hydras are out. Just in general.
Yep, and she's sitting at lair tech still. Any infestation pit? No, I don't see one.
Okay, so she's starting to break down these rocks here. I'm not sure if... Yeah, Protoss can't see this now, so it's going to be able to deal with these lings that are here. But Snorlax really needs to start moving out on the map and seeing what's up. But
he's just going to cannon up the rocks.
Yeah, I just don't feel there's a way back into the game for Snorlax. If you just look at the supplies, it says enough.
Yeah.
Queen's on 128 supply to 53. If Snorlax is to focus on his macro a bit more, instead of going down like so many tech routes at the same time, he'd be able to do a lot more in these games. And we do see the Dark Shrine coming down, so whether he's gonna try and catch Queen off guard, who already has spores she has a spore she has spores everywhere already. Spine crawlers coming down.
Well, with his Void Ray play, obviously. But you know, as the saying goes, win behind Dark Shrine, and he's trailing 34 to 61 workers. That's pretty catastrophic. he's relying on cannons. Now there was a day when Protoss could just cannon till carriers, but that day is no longer.
Yeah, indeed. And I think this is just going to come down to, once again, whoever makes the move first. Like, if Queen makes the move, she wins the game right now, and if Snorlax makes the move at this point, he's going to lose the game. And catching these Stalkers in the middle like this off guard is just catastrophic.
Absolutely. No blink on creep with speedlings on the field. Did Queen completely skip roaches?
Yeah. She's
Okay.
just going for pure Ling Hydra this game, which is a good choice because there's no Colossus tech, so
Yep.
it's better. They're better than Roaches when there's no Colossus out. So
A very, very good counter. It was just a blind counter, so I was
yeah,
kind of surprised. And then you see there, despite the DTs being warped in, there is an Overseer present.
yep. Queen just does everything this game, and there's really not much that Snorlax can do.
Yes, indeed. And
Fourth base on the way for Queen as well. So yeah,
I thought that was a hatch down on the fifth, but that is just a bunch of lings. Yep. So he's bringing in more cannons. I mean, yeah, they're gonna help you to defend, but you're so far behind that really what's needed is a way to push aggression. Turtling just delays the inevitable.
yeah. We
Remember our
also have
objective
another
here.
base coming down as well for Queen. So
Yeah. And here she moves in, and I think with the DPS of these Hydras, this is Heart of the Swarm, and Hydras do excellent DPS nowadays.
yeah, she can just A move at this point and tab
I
out if she wants.
I think so.
Even into these cannons, there's two Autosis pylons.
Oh,
Like
jeez.
one's powering 5 cannons, and then another one's powering, a good 7 cannons there. So yeah,
Yeah, it's rough.
it's pretty rough to be honest.
So the DTs did get 7 drone kills, which is exactly the kind of thing that was needed.
Yeah,
It's a little too little, a little too late, but that is exactly the kind of mentality that the Snorlax need to be in this kind of position.
yeah. He's even though he's sniped the space, I can't see a way back into this for him. If you wanted to like do the math and add up all the cannons that he's built, he's got cannons all in his main, and so many cannons, and I think this is just like, I don't know. I don't know how to comment on it. I'm just stuck for words, basically.
We're
And
at
I don't.
about
I
3,000 minerals spent in
Yeah.
cannons, I think.
Yeah. And I don't want to say anything bad about the guy, but there's just
Oh,
not
of
much
course.
he can do in this game.
No, I mean, I had to endure while at work, no less, watching my horrible play get commented on. But the thing is, and I think so far, oh, here comes Banelings. This is going to be a fun Baneling bus here.
Did she get speed as well? Oh, she
No,
hasn't
she
attained
didn't.
speed. How many of them will hit is the question.
Enough.
Oh wow,
There
there
it
goes the
goes.
pylon. Yep, and she's just gonna move up the ramp now and kill everything in
And
this
2-2
game.
just finished.
Yep. So she's backing back out. I'm not
Why?
quite sure why. Please, Queen, please. Okay, so everything's just dropping now for Snorlax, and
Yeah.
that's just gonna be game. There are DTs here, but they're just gonna drop instantly. Okay.
Oh, one more hit.
So they drop. The DTs are down. Everything's just falling in the natural. And now she can just move up into the main and continue to end the game. But she's backing out. It's like she's playing with her food right now. So we'll just have to see how long Snorlax can stay alive in this game. He doesn't have any mining base right now. He's
No.
mined out in his main. His natural's dead. He has no units. He should have GG'd out at this point. So
He's long distance mining from his natural.
Yep, with idle drones as well.
Well, here we can confirm there are no map hacks because Queen could a move in. Oh man, so there's not much that's gonna be. This is pretty much it at this point, guys.
It is slightly awkward, but there you go.
Yeah, just a little bit. Snorlax hanging on though, doing some harassment here with a few stalkers and a DT, but once again, right idea. That is exactly what you need to be doing. Just once you let the player get up to 5 bases, taking down a base doesn't do much.
Yep.
And Queenie is droning.
That GG is going to be called any minute now, I should assume.
I assume once this Nexus falls.
Yeah, I assume once. She wasn't going to wait to kill all the buildings before leaving. Okay, so. Yeah, Snorlax leaves the game. And.
So that brings us to 1-1 again with Snorlax, who, at what we've seen so far, is undefeated in his Void Ray opening.
Yeah, I'll be right back. 2 minutes, guys.
All right. So Odon Temp, you're commenting, asking what rank these two are. I don't know if you came in from the link on Base Trade. This is called the aceCate Cup. This was put on by one of the guys who's a regular Base Trade TV's just chat channel named Vafthrudner. And it's all the Base Trade TV regulars. You know, we hang out in that stream a lot, and we goof off and chat even when there's no stream happening. So we're playing for a virtual currency on Base Trade TV, and it's really just an opportunity for us to get on Limelight and pretend we're famous while learning a lot about the game. So, oh, you saw it on Twitter. Gotcha. So we're having a good time. We're hopefully learning a lot about our own play. My streams were casted on earlier today by Ben and our host Vafthrudner. And I know I learned a lot, and that's the main goal of this, is to have fun with our friends. Yeah, of course. Have a bit of fun.
Okay, so I'm back now, and we should be ready to go into game 3 whenever.
All right. I am ready to find out who wins this.
Should be interesting.
And Monkey Boy, you are super famous. Super famous. I know who you are, and Ben knows who you are. That's international.
Yep, indeed.
That's 2 whole different countries.
2 whole. Okay, so we're heading into Whirlwind now, the final map of the series.
All right, here we go. And lead us off, Ben.
Okay, so in the top left of the map Whirlwind, we have the green Protoss player, Snorlax.
And in the bottom left, we have our pink Zerg, QNgreenTEA.
And I think we're looking at some sort of proxy again from Snorlax.
I think so.
But he isn't going to scout Queen first, so this is going to be really delayed, or maybe he just opts out of it. Either way, he's behind if he doesn't decide to proxy.
Yep. So normally a probe scout's not uncommon from Protoss, just not this early.
Yeah.
And looks like Queen guesses right on her Overlord Scout, which will be very fortunate for her. But a pylon does go down this time in Snorlax's main. Remember when we saw his first proxy, it did not.
So he has put himself behind already by taking that huge supply block and hoping to get the first scout for the proxy gate, but he didn't. So
Right.
I'm not quite sure what he's going to do here. He queues up the gateway now.
Yep. Traps the gate. Um, he's not supply blocked, and he's not making drones. Or excuse me, probes. Sorry, Zerg player. Um, so that's always bad news.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he's going to do here. Maybe he'll drop a second
Oh,
gateway, or maybe he's just going to... What is... Okay, that's a very strange forge.
that really hurts your mining speed on that crystal right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think of this game so far.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess it was an attempt at a little bit of Sim City, but if he put it farther out so that it blocked between assimilator and gateway, maybe
Yeah,
that's what he was aiming for. Still not making probes.
yeah, but now he's been put even further behind
Yeah,
just by dropping that.
and that location hurts a lot. You see every time that probe doesn't go back to that mineral patch because how long it takes. Now, if he was saturated, it would slow it down. I guess at this point, it's the
Yeah.
probes are just avoiding it.
So we see the cyber core come down, a second pylon, a fourth pylon, should I say, a third pylon, should I say, even, and we have Queen going for the third base.
And cannon coming down in Queen's main.
Yeah, I don't know what this is trying to achieve.
I don't either. Cannon
If
rushing is usually not the easiest with Zer against
if he
Zer.
was going to do some sort of cannon rush, he should try and contain her on the ramp, but yeah, I don't know what to make of this either. It's just really unorthodox play that's unpredictable from Snorlax at this point.
This is true. Unpredictable. So he's creeping out here with these cannons. So the unfortunate thing is that she's already got 3 bases down.
Yeah,
So even if the cannons worked as beautifully as possible and even somehow killed her hatchery, you're still behind. Or Snorlax is still behind.
yep.
24 drones to 14 probes. It's pretty critical.
And as we can see, the Snorlax is just making a zealot now. Maybe he's just going to move across the map with one zealot. The one zealot timing at 6 minutes, I've no idea. And he's still building cannons in the main of Queen, so he may be able to snipe a gas, but this really isn't going to achieve much at all. And I think this game is safe to say it's pretty much already over for our Protoss player.
I think so. The only thing I can think of that the cannons could add is when Queen does scout them, an overreaction could delay her a little bit. But that might buy Snorlax some time to expand behind it.
Yeah, but we all know that Snorlax isn't a fan of expansion, should we say?
He is not. I really do feel like there are some good things about Snorlax's play, and if we do another one of these, I'm really looking forward to him coming in.
Yeah, and seeing the improvements. Hopefully, he learns a lot from the analysis of his games as well.
Absolutely.
He has the right idea, I believe, but he's just not up to. He doesn't know where he's going wrong. I don't think where he's investing too much into one thing.
Right.
Little things like dropping the forge where he did in this game, and
Right.
things like overreacting with cannons.
And the way I feel is it's not. They're not things like, oh, it's going to take you 150 games to learn this. It's not like his APM is limiting him or something. It's just, remember when you're at this time, you need to expand now. And with the way he's got that Void Ray build down, he can follow a build order.
Yeah.
So, I think that it's gonna be really cool to see Snorlax in maybe even 2 weeks. If he takes some of the advice
Yeah,
to hand.
Snorlax is watching this cast, right?
He was earlier. I'm not sure if
Yes,
he's
so-
still on.
So if he's still watching it, hopefully he can learn from the mistakes he's made.
Either that or we've tilted him and he hates us both. And
Yeah, and he never wants to hear our voices again, and he's left the
Exactly.
stream already, and he's never coming back. Let's hope.
He's probably cursing my beard right now.
Ooh,
That hurts. That
don't
hurts,
curse the beard.
Snorlax.
You do not curse the beard.
So Queen once again is in this position where the game is hers, but she doesn't move in.
Yeah.
I think these lings could take it.
Now she has to. I think it's going to come down to the last building dying again. I think Snorlax is going to stick it into the end.
It might, but with 55 lings on the map and 5 queens, just pull the boys and go.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, I guess
she's making
she does
game
have to kill
links.
those cannons eventually.
So I think she's expecting the Snorlax meta of having 20 cannons at the top of his ramp, but
Yep.
that isn't the case this time.
Also, Note Spire is down for Queen, halfway done.
Yep. So we're just seeing Queen play the game as she was in a custom game without an opponent at this point. No offense to Snorlax.
Right, but just macroing.
Yeah, exactly. And she moves into the main base.
Yeah.
She's going to take out all the workers.